we'll give it a go here. Since we've got about 15 on board this evening. We didn't prepare a presentation. We're going to depend on you, the members, feeding us questions to get us going tonight. So anybody have any questions, well, you'd be ready to ask them. Do you have anything you want to start off with, Jayme?
Well, just quickly, I'm guessing there's going to be some zoning questions. We'll try to answer the questions that we can answer regarding zoning, and I know that there's some contentious things going on up in Wells County right now. I've gotten some emails that I'm working on, and yeah, hopefully we can answer some questions. If not, I'll get some email addresses and we'll get some answers out to you guys in the future. Anybody have any questions or anybody have anything going on in their townships that they want to talk about?
Jayme, I have a question. If we do have matters, what's the proper protocol to get in touch with you to bring them to your attention? I seem to want to remember that we were kind of discouraged to go direct to Tom with things. What's the proper procedure or protocol to come to you with matters?
And I think that's the kind of the same thing the board wants here as well with me. I think your regional representative wants the question asked of them so they can go through with the green book or the manual. And if it's something that they can't answer, they'll forward the question on to me. And Dale's here, correct me if I'm wrong, Dale, but I think that's the avenue that the board wanted to go.
We're here for those who build America.
Amazing how dumb people are.
Picking up a lot of backfeed.
Dale, is that what you guys want to happen?
It's kind of that. We'd like it that it does go with a board member too, who's ever kind of the director in that area, so that they got an idea what's going on too, that in their area, that when somebody asks what's going on, and then all of a sudden if it's just you and them and then the rest of the board doesn't know anything about it. So I mean, we would kind of ask that you do include your director from your area with the lawyer too, or with Jayme.
And I have no problem answering questions, whatever it can answer. Sometimes I might direct you to maybe looking into your own attorney. But if it's general questions, I have no problem answering them, and I'll answer them as timely as possible.
Thank you.
I guess one of the topics that we've been seeing again is zoning. Like I said, Wells County has a lot going on with some wind towers. It appears from social media, I guess it looks like Barnes County might have something going on southeast of Valley City with a potential data center. So I'm guessing zoning is going to be a hot topic. As you guys know, I've worked with the Association of Counties because of my other job with the county. The association and League of Cities, we're still working together to try to get some pattern zoning or some model zoning done. I think that's probably going to be the hot topic. I'm guessing zoning and data centers and AI and that sort of thing is going to be the main topic that we're probably going to end up looking at the conference in December, because that seems like that's the hot topic right now. We haven't experienced this, I guess, in North Dakota, and now it's coming hot and heavy right at us. So, other than Wells County, I'm not sure where everybody is from here that's on here tonight, but is anybody else seeing data centers or wind towers or batteries or any zoning issues?
Eddy
that
County's
you're aware of?
Eddy County is more of the wind tower one. There's some in Wells County, but
Or Eddy County, I mean, sorry.
Eddy's
Yep,
gonna
Dale.
have the bigger share.
I'm sorry. Eddy County. Is anybody else seeing anything other than Eddy and Eastern Wells County dealing with wind towers or any other kind of projects? Larry, I haven't been able to get a hold of the DOT. Maybe that's something that we want to talk about, some of the grants and some of the stuff that you had going on, or you had spoken with Ron Hankey with the DOT about.
Yes, well, the DOT, the director of the DOT asked me the other day, for a little guidance on, the requirements for townships in regarding, bidding and the like. And, I tried to, he wanted Jayme's help, working through that, and I tried to get them connected. Apparently, it didn't work. We'll have to look into that in the morning. They had a question that if the townships have to go through a bidding process, I told them that no, the township does not currently have a bidding requirement. However, with these large projects, we do recommend that they follow the county procedure so that they prevent any problems coming up, because if there are problems, then we'll end up with a law that will require us to go through bidding, and some townships just find it impossible to get competitive bids. You're lucky if you can find one contractor out there in some areas that will do things. So we'd like to avoid a bidding requirement. That was the main question that the DOT had.
Okay.
Anyone missing? So in McLean County Fair is next week.
Anybody else have anything going on in their townships that is concerning or have issues or have any questions about anything that you guys have going on? How about topics? I guess this is a question I have for you guys. Seems like I probably beat a dead horse with open meetings and open records, zoning, section lines. What other questions or what other kind of topics would you like us to talk about at these Township Tuesdays so we can get some information out to you guys? Does anybody have any particular issues that have risen in your county and or townships, and you would like some guidance or like some sort of slideshow so you have some information or guidance?
Okay, well, maybe a little off topic, but in the spreadsheets that you sent, I read through them, and other people might have the same question. I hope they do. We have a certain amount set aside for prairie dog funds, and then like I approved or applied for a grant that went from the flex funds over to prairie dog because it was so big, but yet we still have these flex funds coming in. Is that in addition to our prairie dog funds by township, or could you explain the differences, please?
Yes, the flex fund is a separate additional payment. the prairie dog will still be coming. I would say it will be early next year. It will be a lot smaller than what it used to be, because half of that fund also went into grants. But you said the grant you applied for is coming out of Prairie Dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they took half of the Prairie Dog into that. And of course, they had also cut the Prairie Dog in half when they made it almost certain to pay out.
Do you think the prairie dog funds is going to come back when the price of oil per barrel is so high? Is that going to replenish that and give us the opportunity to have some more distributions then?
It does seem that it will pay out this year. It was the way they arranged the ladder or the bucket list that has to fill. It's virtual certainty that Prairie Dog will pay out this year, or this biennium, I should say. Had they not made that change, it would have been unlikely. They took a $400 million bucket that was ahead of the Prairie Dog out of the stream. So it's made it virtually certain to fill because of that change. And the flex fund, that comes from the motor vehicle excise tax, is the main feeder of that. So as long as people are buying vehicles, that will pay out too. I'm not exactly certain just what that's going to amount to. This payment was, I think it was $409.22 or something like that. And I included the treasurer's comments on that he gave at our December meeting in December. He had a little explanation of how that payment works, and he also went over the Prairie Dog. So a lot of the answers should be in that video. Any more questions on the Flex Fund, Prairie Dog?
I see another question from Greg in the chat. How many townships have retained control of floodplain zoning, and how many have given control to the county? I guess I know in the two counties that I've worked in, Griggs and Nelson, I was the floodplain administrator in Griggs. There wasn't a township in Griggs County that retained it. In fact, I contacted every one of them to see if they would do it, and I never received a response from any of them. So I would guess that's would probably be the answer in a lot of counties, that there probably aren't that many townships that are going to retain the floodplain zoning, because there is some work to do on it. Nelson County as well, I don't think that there was any county up there that retained floodplain zoning. And up there they did have some building elevations that they had to adhere to because of the flood zone from Devil's Lake and Stump Lake. But as far as I know, I'm guessing there probably aren't that many counties, or there aren't that many townships that retain the floodplain zoning. Do you have any knowledge about that, Larry?
Very few. I've had a very few people wondering what they had to do to get their authority back. I also assume that a lot of townships would just as soon not bother with it.
yeah, I think if you do it and there are floodplain levels that you have to adhere to for flood insurance, I think there's probably quite a bit of work involved with doing it and making sure that the permitted buildings are on the right elevation. So I would guess that no one really wants to do it.
Well, hopefully the county has more engineering ability to make the determinations on the elevations and the like.
Right.
It's kind of beyond the scope of townships.
If the townships adopt the county's floodplain ordinance, they should actually make sure that someplace in their minutes that they do have a motion and a second and actually vote it in as being adopted, not just say, we're under the county's plan and consider that all they need to do. They really should have it in the minutes and a motion, a second, and a vote.
Yeah.
Anything more out there?
I see David is on from New Rockford Township, and David, I just want to let you know that I am going through your email. There are questions I probably won't be able to answer that I'll probably have to send you elsewhere. But there are a few questions I think I can answer and give you some guidance. But it's something I'm working on and hope to get done sometime later this week. Any other questions or any other townships that have any issues that you'd like some guidance or help or would like us to cover in the future?
Jayme, can you hear me now?
I can.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't have my mic plugged in. No, I just want to say thank you for looking at that. I know we had quite a rambunctious meeting here about a week ago. And those were the issues, and you can see from that we're kind of complexed on the next steps to move to.
Yeah,
Dave.
it's quite an issue, or there are quite a few issues, and I know that I've spoken with Ashley and Ashley's spoken with the state's attorneys about some of the stuff that's going on. So I know it's complex and contentious. Like I said, I'm probably going to direct you to the AG's office or to a private attorney for some of the stuff, but I will do what I think I can do without getting myself into trouble and send you probably to someone else for the rest of those answers.
Okay. So I'll let the new chairman know what you had to say tonight. So,
Okay.
and thank you for your time.
Anybody else have anything before we let you guys go and hunker down before the weather gets here?
I see there was a question about our zoning was adopted in 1978. I can't find a comprehensive plan or any minutes pertaining to one. Do we need to retroactively create and adopt one? I would say you're due for a total overhaul. Take and redo the whole thing, your ordinance and your comprehensive plan. Comprehensive plan first and then an ordinance to match it. 1978, that's a long time. That's a lot of dust on those pages.
There was probably no wind towers, data centers, or anything even mentioned or thought about back then.
Right, and if there's anything about Animal feeding, I'm sure it's also out of date and very likely illegal. Yeah.
So Matt Herman has made some comments in the chat, and I think they're very good comments. If your township is thinking about zoning, get started ASAP. Their townships use the South Central Dakota Regional Council of Jamestown. They paid $3,500 for this service. That would be a great source. I think all townships, whether you guys want to have zoning or not, should have a comprehensive plan. Just like, you've got a strategic plan if you're a business owner, a strategic plan for your farm, or plans and desires for your farm. And it's the same as that, in my opinion. And I think it's something that you should look at, so you can shape the direction that your township is going in. Especially if you're young people or you continue having your family live in that area, it's something that you want to make sure that you can influence the way that the township goes, so it goes in the direction that you and your friends and neighbors want to go. And I do also believe Matt brought up another point that there's growing concern that the legislation is in 2027 is going to try to erode some more power from townships. I think all subs are going to have that problem. I saw something the other day with Governor Armstrong on it where he is really pushing for data centers, and I'm concerned that if we don't have some kind of united front next session, that we're going to run into some trouble, just like we did with the transmission lines. It seems like our state is definitely pro development, and it seems like they really don't care what we have to say as small subs. So something that we probably should start planning for, I guess, too, and see what's coming down the pike for legislation.
Jayme, Jeff Schaefer in Bremen Township. What was that resource in Jamestown for zoning?
It's a South Central Regional Council. I know I've worked with them before. I would guess that they have a lot of zoning plans. I've done it for emergency management with the multi-hazard mitigation plan that we're required to do, and they were awesome to work with to get it together for us. So, yeah, I would guess that they probably are a good resource. If you give me a second, I can actually look up their contact information and just post it in the chat.
Actually, every region of the state has a regional planning council. As you go to the southeast, we have Lake Agassiz Regional Planning Council that also does planning and zoning.
And the South Central actually, that covers Wells, Foster, Grigg, Stutzman, Barnes, Logan, Lemoore, McIntosh, and Dickey. So that's probably looking right in the area that we're talking about right now. And here's the website that they post.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've had a lot of contact with them over the last several years. While they've been working on various things, they've had questions on some matters.
How important is a preamble versus a comprehensive plan?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't hear exactly what you said.
What's the difference between a preamble and a comprehensive plan? The comprehensive plan is just a plan to get where you want to go, but what if you had a preamble, or how important is a preamble and a comprehensive plan? Which one do you need and which one don't you need?
I would say, well, for sure you have to have the comprehensive plan, because that is what your zoning is going to be based off of. So you want to develop your comprehensive plan first.
That's just a roadmap to get where you're going, right?
Right. Yep.
And that's also your reason for having a zoning ordinance.
Right.
Okay.
If it goes to court, the court is going to ask, why are you making this zoning ordinance? Because of our comprehensive plan.
Okay.
Right. I think if in North Dakota, I think if you zone without having a comprehensive plan, you're going to have some trouble.
Okay. Do we need to preamble them too?
Your preamble is usually just a little introductory page that kind of bridges between your comprehensive plan and your ordinance.
Okay.
If you guys look at the chat, it appears that Matt Herman's done a lot with zoning lately, or they've been working on zoning in his township, and I think he's exactly right. I think that should be a good theme for zoning. You don't zone because you're against everything. You zone so you can have a say in your development, and that's exactly right. You're never going to essentially zone development out of your township, but you want to have the zoning so you can protect your property interests and your property rights and protect your farmyard, your dwelling, whatever. You're never going to be able to get rid of what's coming in there, but you're going to be able to have setbacks, that sort of thing. So you can protect your township and your land and your neighbors as much as possible.
And you'll have a seat at the table.
Right. And so I think that's one thing I want to caution everybody is your zoning can essentially say we're going to have a 6 mile setback or a 3 mile setback, so you're zoned out of the township. That's, if that goes to court, the court's likely going to rule against you. But if you have something that's reasonable so you can protect yourself and your neighbors, the court's probably not going to have any problems with it. And you're going to be able to have, like Matt said, a say in the development.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially, if you don't have the zoning, you don't have any impact on the road use agreements either, and they're probably going to be using your township roads, and the county commission is going to oversee that versus the township supervisors.
It depends on the companies that are coming in. For instance, in Griggs County right now, we have the waterline projects coming in, and the contractors would have worked with individual townships. They decided, we had meetings and they decided just to piggyback on with the road use agreement that the county had. But it depends on the developers too. If they're decent to work with, I don't think you'll have any problems getting road use agreements with them. But I think with all this stuff, we need to approach with caution, and not everybody has the same North Dakota values or handshake agreement, ideas of a handshake agreement that we do.
Well,
Any other questions tonight? If anybody wants us to present on any specific subject, just let myself or Larry or anybody else on the board know, and we can come up with a presentation to get the information out to you guys. If you have any other questions between now and the next Township Tuesday, don't be afraid to let us know. But yeah, if you have any ideas that you want us to talk about or have any things, additional things that you want us to talk about in the future, just let us know. I guess I can come up with more zoning presentations if you guys would like, or redo the zoning presentation. I just don't want to cover the same topics over and over again, and and wear them out, I guess. So anytime that you guys have questions, just let us know and we can come up with a presentation so everybody has an idea what's going on.
Do you have any topics that you would like us, or speakers that you would like us to try to get at our annual meeting? Be sure you let Larry or one of the board members know too, that we can work on that.
We are thinking of setting up a mock comprehensive plan, or not comprehensive plan, a conditional use hearing for the convention in December. Probably doing that along with the Livestock Alliance. They'll probably help us do that, just to show what goes into having a hearing like that. And also, we're going to try to put in some more training on budgeting, levying, clerks training, something along that line. So you got any specifics on those, let me know, email me, and we can try to work out a program that meets all the needs for that.
Larry, I think it'd be a great idea to have some sort of brainstorming session or have some conversations regarding our strategy for legislation and what we're going to present to the legislators, or what we're looking for from the legislators in the 2027 session as well.
Right. We will need to come up with some priorities. The Transportation Coalition is also interested in our priorities, and we have to get that developed for them as well. So that'll be something to take up at one of these future meetings, these future Township Tuesdays.
I'll make one final call for any other questions. If there are any other questions, just give them to us now, or we'll let you guys go for the evening, I guess, if that's good with everybody.
Well, I guess we don't have any more questions coming our way, so I guess it's going to be time to say thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope you found value in spending time with us. And again, if you do have questions that you want us to address, let us know, and we can be ready for them for the next one. We should be able to hold the Township Tuesday again in July. However, August looks like I'm going to have a conflict. I'm probably going to be at the assessing officers conference out in Dickinson on the second Tuesday of August. So unless we schedule it for a different Tuesday, which is a possibility, we'll take that up and consider it. So be advised that the date in August might not be the same second Tuesday.
Dale,
Well,
anything from the president tonight?
No, I don't have anything yet.
I saw the vice president was on earlier. Does she have any comments or questions?
Hi, everybody. No, I guess I don't. Just gonna try to get some things going with our ATLR program, and hopefully we can get something lined up at the convention. So that should be it.
That would be great, Julie. I look forward to having a program on the ATLR. Hopefully this time we can get it recorded and make it a usable resource.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
So, if there is nothing more coming, I say thanks again, and wish you all a good night, and keep safe out there. Don't let the storm clouds get you. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.